Hello, people. Alright. Is this going to be on YouTube? I don't know why the YouTube title. Oh, I know why. The YouTube title is also called that. I wonder if I can change the title name. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to change the title, the thumbnail. I'll just put that one on there. And we'll do that. Okay. And we're going to start continuing the build. I need 5,000 plus leather to create my grand library on my grand castle. That's going to take some damn time. Okay. So we've completed the first arena for the duel arena. I've been brainstorming how I want this to look going forward. All these stuff here won't necessarily be here. I just created this to kind of get a center point of the as I go up. But I thought, do I want to make like a tower that I'm building up and up and up that you fight on, or maybe I go offset slightly? So I started thinking about how do I want to do this, and I was thinking, do I go up here and have like another tower that maybe even goes off the cliff slightly, and then it goes back on itself up on this tower here, because I don't want this being to be overshadowed by the fights above. I don't know. I'm still in two minds about how I want to do it. Now I'm here based on my vision. When I was running earlier today, I was thinking about how do I want to do this. So I could go this area here because it's fairly flat. Because the ground is lower, I would be essentially losing ground. So I would be having to build up higher and higher. So I'm not too sure how I want to do that. Or where I want to do it over that left side. But if I do it on the left side, it is going to go over the edge. Or I could do it over this side here. Possibly. I'm going to play with it. So today, I mean, I really want to put my heart and soul into this. Now break it all. Fucking burn, bitch! No. Right, so let's get some tunage on. I did play something yesterday that told me it was copyright, so I need to be careful with that. I'm going to do a top 5 series, Selby, of builds. So get on your library that you was considering. Because what I'm going to do is have people send in their world IP or world access on Discord, and then ideally go with them on tour so they can show me, talk to me about it, and explain why and all the reasoning and such as I tour through their builds, and then do sort of like a top 5 series. So that way, I think that will add some longevity to the game, because then you've got an area where people keep playing, and then this would be the tournament aspect of it as such. I think the only limitation to PvP in this game, based on PvP in other games, is builds. You can't really make builds in this game, right? So like you could maybe limit what you can fight with. So maybe you can have like a tribrid fight, or you could have melee only, or you could to only use 2 different weapons. So maybe people can mix and match and figure out what works best together. But you can't really, like in old school RuneScape, you can, or I suppose RS3 as well, you can develop your character based on PvP alone and then go along with that way. But it's not necessarily possible here. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the arena here. Kind of over my little house here. And then I think underneath or next to this tree, maybe I'll do like a little tree house next to it where you're going to have all the items. Because everyone needs to have access to all the items they're going to want to fight with. And then I suppose like I'll make a rule where you can only have 5 healing potions, maybe like the medium healing potions. And you get to pot before the battle. It'll be cool, it'll be cool. That's my vision, man. I'm enjoying my visions recently. Okay, so let's have a little look. How are we going to do this? So the idea is, because I was thinking, well, I'll go up and higher and higher and higher, right? Which is still a possibility, but then I was also thinking, I'll offshoot here to the left and make like an arena here. And then that arena will shoot back up here. In some capacity, I don't know. Or maybe it'll shoot back up here and then drop down to the side there or something. I don't know, I'm still in 2 minds. I think what I like about having like a tall tower of battles is you could also make it like you're going up the challenge. You're I don't know. We'll see. So I'll make one little here and I'll see. Now what I saw some people using, people make spiraled stairs. But now from what I'm seeing, is there is no such thing as spiraled stairs. So people are just being creative on how they do it. How do you make spiraled stairs then? Would it be something like that? Or do they do also like... Because you can't go down there, otherwise it's not possible. It can only be done with certain stairs. My only other way was something like that. And then you'd have to fill the spaces in with triangles, right? Like if you were going to do it. I'm not going to do that now. The fuck is this tunage happening here? No, I'm not doing that, bro. That sounds like a dog. It is really hot in here today. Okay. Right. So, for now, we just have your standard steps going up. And that should be high enough there. I'm not going to be able to go all the way down from there on the beams. So me and Didi discussed what the future of RuneScape journeys look like. Because I'm struggling, obviously, that I can't, like even for example, even the duel arena, right? I'm going to have access to every weapon here. And if I start duel arenaing soon, I'm going to see all the weapons that I haven't seen in the actual game yet. And that, I don't know, I don't like that. I want that sense of discovery when I'm playing the game. I don't want to know like what every weapon that exists before I've ever gotten to explore it. So I was talking to her about it, and Outward 2 is releasing Outward 2, the early access. I don't know why it's going early access. Why does every game have to do early access? Outward 2 release date July the 7th. Man, there's 2 games coming out on July the 7th. Mistfall Hunters and Outward 2. Now, Outward 2, I am purely playing with DD and DD alone. So I was thinking, I'm definitely playing that. Even though like RuneScape is technically the main game that I want to kind of hold on to. Outward 2 was the first game me and DD ever played together. So it is playing on July the 7th. So, I'm sorry, Outward 2 has a special place in my heart. It's a hardcore type game. It's a game that does not hold your hand. Doesn't even tell you where you are on the map. You got to figure it all out by landmarks. All the quests are similar to RuneScapes, where you just kind of got to solve it yourself. It's the same type of survival, thinking about eating and drinking, setting up your camp for night, otherwise it gets harder and more dangerous. But it's not the same type of survival craft. I don't know if they've added an element of that in this one. It's a bit more narrative driven. But the first one was pretty simplistic because, again, it's made by a very small studio, but it did really well on their first iteration. So I think they've got a bigger budget now. So it is still up there on the same type of game. It's a fantasy world. So again, that's something I'm looking forward to. And then I thought, well, so I said, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no point of us both playing both of the games together because, like, when Umbral Sands come out, it's going to be a bit. I just don't want every new release to come out and I'm always behind. I want to be a part of the release, man. You know. So we discussed it. I'm not going to go through it now because we're going to get back to it on Tuesday. On Tuesday, she is back on the grind. She's not working as much in the evenings throughout June. So hopefully we can at least get towards the end of Dowden Reach. We won't be seeing Umbral Sands on release, sadly. From what it sounds like, Umbral Sands is looking like a hefty update. I like the idea of fire caves as well, or fight caves, kind of for the Red Dragon fight. That's going to be cool. I'm tired today though, man. I am tired today. So I definitely need to sleep at 1 o'clock today. 1 o'clock is my cut-off point. I can't do the 2 a.m. because I had suffered today, man. I suffered bad, man. So I thought with this one, I'm going to have like a different type of design instead of just a circle. Right, instead of just an arena circle like that, I'm going to have a different design. But I might not. We will see how it goes. I think to start it off, however, I think I'll have to go with the foundations. We'll go there. Because it's not going to be as big of a circle. We do want like an spectating platform, however. Do I do a 1? Is a 1-1 good enough? Are we floating already? That's not good. But that guy who made that crazy build said it takes him like 2 hours to load in. Like, what the fuck? And personally, I'm going to be honest with something, right? It's impressive when it comes to the detail, but I think it's too much detail. I'll be real with you. I think it's too much detail. I don't think RuneScape suits that detail. RuneScape's got like playful, cartoonish vibe to it. And yeah, like you can have a good amount of detail to your builds. But I think like, to that level? I just don't know. Maybe that's my jealousy talking. I mean, I'd like to explore his build and make a video on it as well. But back. I just recorded my tour of my castle as well. I just figured I'd go for it now, you know, instead of waiting for some type of perfection time. I think maybe I shouldn't be on. I think that's plenty of size. Because what I wanted also, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make it the whole way around, to be fair. Oh no. Oh no, I'm devastated. You've got to be ambitious. As I say, you got to reach for the stars. Because if you miss... No, you reach for the moon. But if you miss, you still hit a star. That's the one. Wait, I might actually be able to do it. I mean, it'll become an issue when I want to go high, right? Because I don't have any foundations and I ain't making it down there. Oh, come on. What did I fuck up on here now? Where did I fuck up, bro? This is what I'm saying. When you want to make a perfect circle, I think the best thing is always to go from one way round to another. But I can't because I can't even make it around. Why? Why is it not? Where did I go wrong? Let me have a look. Normally around these bits here when you've got to go around the... Like here, this one here is the culprit, I think. I have a feeling that's the culprit. Because... I don't know if this is realistic, to be fair. I don't think I'm going to be able to... build very high anyway. I'd have to be really, really... creative as to how... I go about that. Okay. He's slightly off. So there's one that is off ever so slightly, but I think we can get away with that. Look at that. You're going to be fighting on the... above the chasm. Imagine that. Finish him! Give him a fucking... Greek kick. Spartan kick. Right, so... Let's fill the space out and see if that adds any stability to the build. This is pretty much just a test, because if this doesn't work, I'm just going to do what I originally planned. We're just going to go up and make a tower. Both will look cool, but I think this should just be a little bit more unique. Man, this just getting messy. Come on, Browoski. Don't fuck with me, man. We're back to the greens. It's a good sign. You know, I haven't listened to the in-game music for a while, and I remember watching the trailer again for this, and it gave me a little bit of like, I was like, oh, this song's banging. Okay. There's a slight one over there. All right, that's a slight one. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So we managed to make the circle. I'm gonna have to move my character closer. But it needs to go up here. I don't know how realistic that is. Why have you done this? Because the idea is there's gonna be 3 arenas. And you essentially start on this one. And then this one was going to go higher up here. Again, I'm just going to experiment with it. It's possible. Oh, that's the Snowlands. Hey, look, that's the Snowlands when the wilderness comes out. Maybe the Snowlands is going to be part of the wilderness. And then you go up here. And this is going to be like here. And then it's going to go back up above here. I think I'm a bit too ambitious as to whether the game can do that. I was thinking, like, do I make a tower of arenas, or do I just make an offset arena? Because I thought it'd be quite cool if you're fighting slightly off the map. But we will see. We will see. What I wonder is, if I add these guys, I suppose what we can do. Now, would a vertical thick beam of stone or baroque be stronger? I have a feeling like it'd be the third vertical thick beam, right? Part of me wants to say like this beam would be the best because it's basically metal. What would you say? What would you say is the strongest structure in the game? I mean, whatever the case, if this doesn't work, I'll still keep this. Just because it's cool that it's hanging off the map. I think I've got to do a lot of structural work underneath. went running today, right? I went on my commute home. I was like, I'm going to try this different route. And the route went through a bit of like this sort of tight forest cove. It's quite cool. Quite magical. And let me try to do some underground structures here. Then I got lost because the map said, yeah, there's a route through this farm. I go through the farm and it's locked off. I'm like, what's the point of that then? So I'm like, alright, well, the route said it's there, so I don't know who's lying. So instead I go through this route. And then it leads me to this farm with horses. And I'm like, well, I ain't going through that. And I end up getting stung the fuck up climbing these, should we say, farm hopping. It took me ages to get home. So I think July is when me and Dee Dee's journey on this game comes to an end. That's not to say she won't ever play this game again. But I imagine Outward 2 to take up a lot of our time. And there's always a lot of replayability type things going on in that game. Maybe an awkward form, man. Just do your thing. Do your job, bro. Why have you done this? Just noticed a little anvil on its own there. I don't know. Let's see how tall I can actually go with this. So where am I at the moment? Because I don't know if I'll be able to fill in the spaces. That's the problem. We're on yellow already. But not orange. I wonder, can you, on custom mode, can you turn off structural integrity? Would it be yellow again? Right, let's try and fill out the floor from here. Because that's going to be another whole issue in itself. See how far we can get. Before the computer says, nah. And then we'll decide maybe we can go one more floor up. Because the idea is also to have stairs that will lead back on itself, going higher up. Yeah, there's that one odd one, isn't there? So I've got to accept that it's not going to be a perfect circle, but it's going to be enough. Oh, we got red zoned. We got red zoned. Interesting. Oh, let's go this way then. Because we can still add pillars to this as well. Okay, it doesn't like that bit there. Which is okay because we still got some structural stability stuff to add. So we'll figure out if it's possible or not still. Okay, so this area here is just saying no. We need to add more pillars. Selby, if you're there, what is the quickest way to get animal hide for leather? Would it be the storm-touched highlands? what I should do is okay, will you let me complete the floor now? Nice. Get in, lads and ladettes. Hello, goddess. How do I do? How do I do? I is so very hungry. All right. It's another round of pillars. It's going good. I'm a bit tired today. I've been taking the piss. I've been going to sleep at 2 a.m. Most nights now. I've been living on 4 hours sleep for the past 3 days. And I really struggled today. So I think I'm going to cap it today at 1. I can live on 5 hours sleep pretty well. But yeah, when I start doing the 4, I really do struggle. And I think it is accumulation as well. Because first time I was like, okay. But then I had to run home. I think that was a Wednesday. And I ran home today. I got lost today on my run. Ended up in farm fields where the map lied to me, telling me there was a path there, of which it got shut down by 2 barbed gates, which I ended up having to climb over anyway because I was like, I don't have time, I need to get back home. And yeah, that took a lot out of me. So what was supposed to be a 9.5 mile run, which is long as it is, ended up being 11 miles and over a lot of weird terrain. So yeah, it is not good for me to be, well, it is important, but I am in grind mode right now in life. So I'm going to survive on minimum sleep. That is just the way I've accepted it now. You know, the world's falling to shit, you know? And I feel like I want to live as full as possible while I can. So I feel like I'm living 2 lives, you know? I'm living the gamer life in the evening, and I'm living the daddy life and the PT life and the fitness life all in one. And I'm just shortening my sleep so that I can have that time. I know it's important. I know that it will be chronically damaging over time. But hey, passion drives energy a lot of the time. And I will sleep when I'm dead, as they say. Yeah, I think 5 hours I feel pretty good on. Alright, so I kind of want to go one higher, but I don't think it's necessary because I think I'm going to turn back on myself anyway. And then do another tower that way. But the problem is, if I do another tower up here, how am I doing this one? Am I doing the same thing where I'm going to add pillars like this? I don't want this one to be littered with pillars. That's the problem. I don't know if that's possible though. Yeah, like, I don't know. If I didn't have the kids, right, then when I finish work, I could start streaming. I could base my work around some more sensible hours, and I could start streaming at like 5 and 6, and I could stream for 6 hours. But I stream from 8:30 to 9 until 1 to 2 a.m. I need to think about this for the next step. Because I can't ruin this arena either. And this arena is going to be a little bit tougher to fight on because you've got a smaller space and you don't have any obstacles. I don't know. I'm debating whether I'm going to add any edges or whether falling off is also part of it. Soul Calibur style. Which I feel like it should be because this is the one that's hanging over the edge. So like imagine you're fighting someone and you put the pressure on and they get thrown over the chasm. I feel that's a pretty cool idea. So I might do that. I'll think about how I want to finesse this off. Yeah, I need to do 4 to 5 hour stream. I think a 4-hour stream is good. But when I see that 5 number, I'm like, oh, that was a good session. I mean, the only thing is that I am, at the moment, I'm just building. So it's not the most entertaining streams. I've just recorded one of my videos for my castle build. No doubt I'll do a video for this one. Well, that is not even in the center, but you know what? Screw it. Alright, we're nighttime now. Let's see. I'm really like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. We're going to add stairs here. How's yours going though, by the way? How's your streams going? How's your programming going? Are you not there anymore? Let's say, how's your streams going? Doesn't feel like it turns too much. I like the bottoms to have a bit of a finish to them rather than just a straight hanging off the edge. If you're there, Goddess, how's your streams going? Might get away with just keeping it like this, to be fair. I was thinking of like joining them all the way down, which would look better, but it would also be a bit of a journey to do. Like, that looks okay. Obviously it doesn't connect to anything, but just by nature it looks quite okay. Could have a fight in there, maybe. I don't know how possible that is. Could have 4 arenas, perhaps. Oh, why are these stairs misaligned for Bravoski? Come on, basic snap. Why are you being annoying for? Okay. So I think what I wanted kind of worked. I'll do something cool with the stairs when I'm finished. Ah. Right, this is a tricky one. So the second arena has worked, but now this second one I'm kind of going for, I think, is going to be the harder one actually. And I don't want it to overwhelm the ground stadium. Right. Scrap this. I don't think what I'm thinking is going to make sense with that. Uh oh. Yellow. That's a problem. Why is it yellow for? An orange, yeah, not orange, yeah. So I kind of want to go higher than that tree. How am I going to do this? I'm surrounded by idiots. I'm feeling that one, bro. I don't think my vision is structurally capable. What's happened on your end? In real life or in streaming? I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry to be that one. Talk to me. Talk to me. My brain is painful right now. I'm really trying to figure it out. I don't think I have enough structural integrity to fill this space to have a second layer. And this shit here will piss me the fuck off to get that perfect, so... I've not been here because someone gave me a sub. Just streamed. I don't watch anymore. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, but that's not your fault, right? That's just... I've been given that too. But I don't think, like, you... Did they pick you? Or was it, like, they just threw one out there? Because, for example, like, if someone... like, my brother donated a sub to one of my friends who doesn't ever watch me, so... What? You see, that's the fucking job. Like, that's the thing to me, right? It was a targeted sub. That's just so messed up, man. I don't think there should be any guilt. Like, I think this is a two-way street. If you started, if not you, but like, if in general people started paying me, I don't want to be held hostage by their demands. At the very same time, I'm not demanding them pay to watch me. I would like it, but it's like, it's a two-way street, you know? I'm not their slave, and they're not my slave. If anything, you're paying to support me and for me to be able to stream more. Not like, you know, that's just weird, bro. And the reason I stopped is because, I don't know if you notice, my humor is pretty dark. Well, you're like, if... I can tell by now, your intention isn't... you don't have bad intentions. So even if you say shit that's like... that sounds jarry or like for some other people might seem quite... What's like, blunt? Dry, blunt? Some people might be put off, but I see your intentions. You're just autistic like me, bro. But yeah, I mean, no one should be... Like, my brother sent a donation out, a sub donation out at random, and it picked one of my friends, one of my good friends who I run with, but he doesn't watch me. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, by the way, you got a sub, my brother paid for it, you better watch. Like at the end of the day, what are you even fucking paying for? You know? Like, in terms of goods, like, to me, when you pay, it's so that I can stream more, and you're supporting my ability to stream. But aside from that, it's not like suddenly you pay and you get these goods. So you can't demand now, like, that's weird, man. That's just weird. That's just weird. That's my take on it. Why did he target a sub at you then? I don't really get it. Man, I'm at a standstill right now. Oh, I got an idea. I've got an idea. I think. But I might get rid of all this whole top layer. I don't know. I see. let's be real, that's not even lined up properly, so I can't act as if I'm gonna be that sad to destroy all this work. I'm really tired today, man. Alright, fuck it, it's all going. Not all of it, but this whole top layer is going. Just cripple the legs. Take out the legs. I've got an idea as to where I want this to go. Basically, I need a third floor. A third layer. But it's very hard to go tall. Because of the size of the circumference of this, I can't go much taller and cover the ground without like middle foundations. So, that's why I'm thinking I've got to be really, really, really weird about it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it'll work either, honestly, and I don't think it will, is build an offset here. So I'll build like another layer over here, and I'll build that taller, and it'll overcast this one here, and then I'll attach it around to connect to that arena over there. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of I want a third layer that goes above this, but it doesn't have to be directly above it. But that's it. Okay. Is he a RuneScape streamer as well? Let me have a look at who's RuneScape streaming now. I'm obviously the most entertaining right now while I'm doing all this. Oh, okay. We've got Herf Games with 6 viewers. I am Brendo with 7 viewers. Colo attempts the dragon. Colo attempts. Then Dragon Wild Layer. I don't know what Colo is. I know, oh, not PP is 15 viewers. Current game, RuneScape Dragon Wilds. If I was with the wifey, I think I would. My side, oh right. It's not the one you was talking about before, was it? Okay, what I'm gonna do is like these big grand arches. Here I don't have to be shy about going too tall, right? You was talking about my side. You was mentioning to me, like, recommending my side. To me. This is really weird. How am I going to do this arch? Yeah, you spoke to me about it before. I had a look at it and I was saying it was pretty cool. Okay. Come on, broski. What are we doing here, broski? Alright, let's try that. Let's see if it connects. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. I always like making my life complicated. You think I enjoy it? Okay, that's the first arch done. Ah, ah, ah. Would it still stick if I don't? Yeah, take that away now. Not the prettiest archer, is it? Would it be better if it was just one? Let's trial it over here, shall we? I mean, it would be cleaner if it was just one, but it would also... Do you think there's a way of to block? No, I just think that. Nah, man. Nah, bro. If people want to throw their money away, like, to me, if someone donates let's say someone came into my chat right now and gave a sub to you, whether you sat here and watched me or not makes no difference. They gave me the money. Do you know what I mean? Now you have the opportunity to take advantage of that, but it's not on you now. They've just paid me an extra $5 or whatever it is. So that ain't on you to feel the guilt for that shit. Yeah, I get it, but no, I don't think there's anything. That's on the mod for doing that though, you know what I mean? If anything. That's just on them, man. They can't make you feel guilty for some shit like that. I don't think there is a way anyway. Because at the end of the day, the streamer gets the money, right? So I'm so intrigued about what the Crucible is going to be. And I really hope they like go a little bit hardcore on this game, you know? Well, they were saying, one guy was supposing that the fight for, what was his name? Kazan? The red dragon is going to be like fight caves. Well, you know what they need to do? Kazan, yeah. You know what they need to do? They need to make sure though that it's even. That it's not like all back heavy. So, obviously you want it to escalate the further in the game you get, but you don't want it to be that, like let's say you go to Umbral Sands and suddenly it's like fucking mahoosive in terms of content and such, but then you go to like Fell Hollow and it's pales in comparison. So they do need to make sure that I suppose that the fact is that they do go back on the world to do content, so. But then imagine you've got all the Crucible and the fight caves all in Umbral Sands, and in Fell Hollow you've got, I don't know, I actually don't know. I suppose Fell Hollow you've got the corruption, but they could add something else still. Yeah. But is Dowden Reach bigger than Is Dowden Reach bigger than Bell Hollow? Would you say? I can't because I haven't been anywhere yet. Yeah, what you on about, bro? I've never even stepped foot in Dowden Reach. What are you on about? Hey. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I feel like I've got blue balls on this game. Like, on one hand, it's cool that I've got so much to still experience. And on the other hand, it's like, I just want to get there now. Like, I know if I was on my own, I would cover that distance so much easier. That's why I've decided that, or we have decided, that Outward will be our game and RuneScape will be my game. And then if she fancies it, she can come in, try out together. Tuesday. Monday, I'm having a stream night off because we just want to spend the night together. And then... yeah, and then Tuesday. It's a bank holiday Monday, right? So... I don't think we'll get to... I almost certain we won't get to Umbral Sands. By the time... but we won't get to Umbral Sands in time. I don't think, anyway. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, that is the plan, actually. We are just going to bomb through. And, like, if I think there is something she might like on a side quest, then I will know how to just do it for her. I don't think she's that interested in that shit. Like, she's barely interested in the lore. You know, she just likes exploring and experiencing the world. And while I say I like the lore, I don't even know what the fuck's happening. But I know I'm going to go back and when I'm finished Elden Reach, I'm going to do like a... I'm going to check the lore. Or when I do another playthrough, I'm going to go through the lore again. I like knowing the lore because I think it just adds that extra layer to your experience. You know, everywhere you go has a bit of meaning and meat to it. And I like the way Jagex writes. But yeah, we will do that. Maybe you can catch me up if you fancy it. So remember before, like what, I don't really get this world, right? They come over, they traveled to explore. They did travel just for exploration's sake, right? And then they found there were dragons here. Can you quickly... oh no. You need to hear something. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Let's see, because I don't really have much. In a metered voice. What's a metered voice? A metered voice. I've never heard that term. You want me to talk like a normal man? Few deities, or like that. Few deities are responsible for as much death and destruction as the self-styled Big High War God, Bandus. Alright, okay, I see. Ooh, I don't know. That's factual. I mean, it is factual, right? Few deities are responsible for as much death and destruction as the self-styled Big High War God, Bandos. On his own world, he brought destruction and became the last one standing in a planet-wide war. When he ascended, he brought this war to other planets, wiping out countless civilizations for the grand sports of war. He came to Gielinor for the God Wars, delighting in death and destruction between entities as powerful as him. He aligned with Saradomin and Armadil to battle Zamorak, helping corner the Lord of Chaos and force in his hand. Zamorak's revenge destroyed a whole region, wiping out 4 in 3. 4 in 3. Close one. I don't know, I've never done a factual. In my, oh no, I was thinking in my build tour video, I did kind of sound factual. Yeah, I don't really know, I would need an example of that. What are you thinking? Are you trying to like scout whether I can do lore videos myself? I've never been someone who cares too much about facts enough. Like, you know, I'm not like too detailed enough in life. A bit too goofy for that. But I'm guessing you were checking whether I could do lore videos. Or you could write them out and I would sound them out. Is that what you're thinking? Can't just say you're just checking something and leave me hanging like that. I see. I'd have to practice more than anything. Because Dee Dee says that I should narrate. Or do like voice acting of some form. When I put on the voice that I'm not going to do it now like that, but, you know. Because I can go quite deep. But yeah, no, if you give me an example, maybe I can have a look. What's gone wrong here? What has gone wrong here? It was going so smoothly just a minute ago. Something like, what is... What has he done? Fuck, man. Oh, I think I've done it. Okay, cool. Let me listen to something along that line. I think I need cleaner British. I need to speak cleaner British. Okay? I can imagine some like, and then the dynasty. North London. You're having a laugh, mate. You're having a fucking laugh, you are. North fucking London? You fucking take me for? Fuck you know. North London. North London. Yay! North London. North London. North London. Yeah, you might find that, you know, because I can get a few words wrong, it'd be annoying, right? So I don't know, yeah, maybe I'm not the man. That's not my type of thing, law, but I mean, if it was written for me, I wouldn't be entirely opposed. Put it that way. Because it would be the writing that I would struggle with. And I do want more ideas for YouTube. I think if I can get... if I can get the build stuff going, I think that would be enough. The build and PvP, and then just a standard exploration. That would pretty much suit me. But it's a cool idea because then, like, by trying to narrate it and such, I would also be learning quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, how about we trial it? I don't mind. I don't have all the time in the world necessarily, but like we could try it. I could even try it on stream. I mean, we tried it a little bit there, but it was a not quite, but not a no, right? I suppose you have to kind of understand a bit more as to what it's just sound like. Yeah, if you give me, you want a Loki. You want like a Loki? Let's experiment. Let me have a little look. Let me have a little look at some more. Cathan would be the first to tell you that he was raised in a privileged, wealthy family. loving parents, everything a growing boy could need. Yet, like for so many of us, it wasn't enough. He craved excitement, exploration, and adventure, yearning more than anything to discover the wonders of the world. As a child, he slipped away from his family in search of adventure and monsters to slay. Yeah, I know. A bit more royal family. But yeah, like you want it toned down just a little bit. Is what you mean? Just to tone down a little bit. I need a little bit more life in this music, you know. Prince William. Oh gosh. Oh. Prince William. Just check something. I don't even know. I haven't heard that guy speak much. Let's put a speech on with Prince William and see what's what. Oh man, all those farm fields fucked me up now. I got hay fever and shit. Let's have a listen. Prince William? That's Queen's English, isn't it?
The coronation concert stage.
I would say a few words about my father and why I believe this weekend is so important.
I would say a few words about my father and why this weekend is important.
But don't worry, unlike Lionel, I won't go on all night long. That's like a level I'd have to practice, you know? Us autists are good at imitating. You know what I'm saying? But it's not something I listen to. Like I listened, you know, when you're saying like I listen to too much TikTok, and that's why I say Dynasty and shit like that. But I think actually it's because I used to play Action Man a lot when I was younger, and we'd make stories, and I would play the American accent a lot. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. What's your accent? I'm intrigued. Where am I streaming from? Why is this bro asking me so much detail? Where are you streaming from? Bro, the UK. You think I'm... Who are you, bro? That guy Mike, yeah, he added me and saying, oh, he'll come check me. And I've been speaking to him and he's just been like asking me so many dodgy questions. So I started outing him saying I wouldn't, because he said, oh, I'm a dedicated fan. I'm like, bro, you ain't a dedicated fan. That's a bit weird. You sound like AI. You're trying to tell me something. And he's like, no, I'm not trying to say I'm not AI. Da, da, da. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, start playing friendly again. And he's just trying to shit. Found me. He found I was really good. So I'm like, he's obviously going to say, okay, so where are you streaming from? It's like, do you know what I mean? Bravosky.
I speak like this. I think I have a much deeper voice than I do. That's basically all I can really say about it.
Oh, wow. I would not have put you with that voice, you know? Wow, I would not have put you with that voice. That's educated voice, I would say. Is that North London? Why wouldn't you do Lord videos then? I don't know. I don't really have a thought of what you would sound like. Shit. This is tricky. No, man, you don't sound shit. You sound like what we would call in a Dulwich accent. Like it's quite posh. You sound middle class. I actually think you would suit what you're looking for, you know. Wait, why is that not working? Why is that not working? Oh, damn, bro. You're more handsome than I thought. And you're not as big as I thought you was making out as well. I was expecting so much different. Maybe it's just a mind state, you know? Like, I told that guy I'm from the UK, so what do you mean, like, where am I streaming from? Do you sound like you look... Oh, that's the question. Well, you was making out like, you know, you're overweight and all of this, but you look a little bit more like streamlined, you know? I think I fucked this up. Slimline. So you're a tall guy then? You must be tall. Wait, wow, how has this gone wrong? Nothing's changed. Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't mind my my blunt words. It's just the yeah. Oh, that's why, because I haven't actually done the other one. It's like I don't mean ill by it. It don't matter what I think. It matters about what the reality is. Maybe it's because I think you downplay yourself a lot. You know what I mean? Are you a Redditor, by any chance? Good. Okay. All right. I went on Reddit once, right? I just got shat on, bro. I got shat on because, like, I had this weird take, and I get it. It was a weird take, right? But the idea was, I was saying, it was kind of like an attack on atheists in a way, but not because I have a problem with atheists, but because of how arrogant some atheists are. And I'm like, bro, you act like you have read the book on evolution to be talking. Like, I get it, like we can trust experts, but you can't talk like it's an obvious fact if you yourself haven't done research to have that level of confidence. Like, have they looked into anything to do with Charles Darwin, or is it literally? But then they have a problem with somebody who believes in God on faith. It's like, it's weird to me. So I made this thing like, unless you've actually put some effort into learning this shit, then how can you talk about religious people? And then they just roasted me. I went into the negatives on my first post. I don't like when people have a lot of arrogance because they offset their intelligence to other experts. I get that there are people in different fields for a reason, but like, this doesn't mean that you need to take on that identity as if you've done the research yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't think, oh, like, oh, you haven't read the Bible, so that's why you're not religious. Like, I don't think by reading the Bible, like, I don't think you have to be you have to have read the Bible to be an informed atheist either. I think it's more, atheism is just the absence of believing in it, really, right? So it's not like, but people, like, I just remember, like, I was in a car with somebody, and the guy's IQ, I could tell, was not the level that he was behaving towards the guy who was religious. The guy who was religious was a very humble guy. It's a very quiet, easygoing guy. And the guy was just like coming after him about it. And then I was like, have you read the book on evolution? Oh, but you seem to be so like arrogant about the truth. And I'm thinking, well, if the truth was so important to you, then you would have at least put some effort into learning it. That's the only bit. I'm not saying people have to read the book on evolution. I'm more so saying, like, if you've got a heavy stance about like science against religion, then look at that. Perfect. Yeah, I know. I can see why people think that way, but I think that's just a human. I think humans are like, it's not religion that makes people cancerous. It's just humans. Because again, like I said yesterday, if it wasn't for, if you take away religion, people do it for money. I mean, like, you think Trump is religious? People do this shit for power and money. That comes first. Religion is just a way that they do it, and they think they absolve themselves from the they think they're absolved of their sin because they're religious. Don't get me wrong, people have like done carnage around the world, but it'd be just the same as you know, any other. I guess Genghis Khan was religious, you know, but I don't know. People will always find something to war and fight over, whether it's resources or religion. Alright, look at that, look at that. So I think now we level it out. Yeah, I guess so. I guess. Like, I'm most drawn to Jesus when it comes to religion. Because I don't know if you've heard of a man called Robert Sapolsky. He's a neuroscientist. He's an atheist himself. He doesn't believe in free will. And I always thought that myself growing up. I was like, I always loved asking the question, why? Why do people do such bad things? You know, I used to watch gore videos back in the early days of the internet. And I always just started to question, like, but why do people do this shit? Why? What is in them? You know, why do good people do bad things? And the more you realize that things start to link back to childhood. You know, if someone is abused, then maybe that's all they know. You start to realize there are so many factors that goes into your decision, like your next decision. To the point where maybe you're not actually in control as you think. So religion to me, in its bare bones, take away the kind of books and go for the bare message, is more about controlling your impulses. Because if you're a slave to your impulses, you don't have free will at all. You think you do. You think, oh, I'm living for today, like I'm just enjoying myself. No, you're not. You're a slave to your own, like, addictions. And so religion, to me, is supposed to be more about you're trying to combat against those addictions. I'm talking about the bare bones as well, not like the actual doctrine of it. But Robert Sapolsky's done other stuff, yeah, but he's essentially there's a book called Determined, and half the book is just about counter arguments. Because once you understand, like, let's say from birth, when you're in your mummy's tummy, you hear different sounds, or maybe your parents argued all the time, so your mum had a lot more stress, and she's releasing a lot more cortisol. And then when you're born, maybe, you know how most people leave their children to sleep on their own when they're babies, and they just let them scream, right? So you had a sense of abandonment when you were young. And then maybe when you cried when you were young, your mum or your dad decided to leave you there for just that extra moment. All those little intricate points start to dictate the next connection in your brain, which leads to your next choice. So when you grow up, when you start to actually make conscious choices, your first choice is going to be led by the last one, and it will go down, 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 right? And then you can trace this all the way back. So the amount of options you could have made is countless, so it's hard to physically trace back. But if we had a machine to do so, you could arguably trace back everybody's choices and then predict, potentially, or have a better chance of predicting what the next decision is going to be. Are you going to go left or right? Well, left or right is going to be determined based on what your previous decision in life was. And so it begs the question, do we have as much autonomy as we think we do? If anything, the only reason why we think we do is because of the I, the ego of the I. It's like it wants to say, I did that. I got myself out of that shit. You know, when people have a bad life and they turn it around, they want to say, I turned it around. But what if the other person in their shoes didn't get the same tools, didn't meet the same people, didn't get the same wisdom from somebody? You know, let's say like gangbangers are always stuck in a circle of violence, right? But maybe one day, or one of the kids had a father figure who actually had been there, done that, and said, look, I'm telling you now, as appealing as it's going to be, you do not want to go into this life. And by nature, he goes into that life. But throughout that, he's always questioning, yeah, maybe there is something more to this. That seed that was planted is now going to dictate his future. The other kids may never have gotten that, so they will continue to perpetuate the cycle. So would you say that that kid got himself out of it, or he was lucky that he was stumbled upon the right person who got himself out of it? So for me, it is a no. To me, there is no free will. Like, I'll be sadly honest. I don't think there is free will. But I think the more you're able to control your impulses, the more autonomy you gain. Because let's say you want to do this thing. Oh, but I'm tired. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. Those are the impulses that are holding you back, right? So the more you have control over them, the more you actually have control over your life. So your ability to get there is going to be based on, obviously, like I said, the tools that brought you there. So no one's going to think certain thoughts off their own accord. I don't actually know if it looks as good as I thought. But we're going to stick with it. There's some more stuff we can do with it. I'm pretty sure you're describing the life equation from the DC. I mean, they derived that kind of idea from that stuff, right, I guess. Humans made it, so... But that's it, right? Like, let's say again, I'm choosing to stay up later and have less sleep. Because I want to make streaming something. I want to actually somehow make it happen. When? How? Why? I don't know. But the only way it's going to happen is if I keep showing up, right? And I don't have a lot of time in life because of kids. But my impulses say go to bed. My impulses say about how well I'm going to handle the next day of work, etc., etc. But the more I control my impulses, like again, I want to run home because I want to be fit. Oh, but I'm tired because I streamed and I only had 4 hours sleep. Okay, well, tough shit, right? Again, like, we claim we are autonomous. Basically, put it this way. If we had free will the way we think we do, everybody would be perfect because by now, we all know what to do. We all have the knowledge. We can all find the knowledge online. We all know what to eat. We all know how much we need to drink. We know how much we need to move. We all know all the right things, but we don't do it. Why? Why don't we do it? Because it's not as simple as that. We don't have the free will that we think we do. And to me, it's empowering. For some people, that's defeating. It's like, oh man, really? So I don't get to actually choose? Well, no, I think free will is earned. I think it's an ability. I think you need to work on yourself to develop the ability to have that free will, to utilize that free will. And that's why I go to Jesus more than I do to the other religions. In other religions, they say, the more good deeds you do, the better heaven you go. Right? In Christianity, it ain't about that. It's about following the way. I struggle with the idea that Jesus is God himself. But by principle of self-improvement, that's the part I take. I believe in a power beyond humans because I think humans are inherently corrupt and flawed no matter how intelligent they are. Humans have a tendency to want to worship, whether it's a god or it's another person or an idol, which is what we do, right? We worship idols, singers and such. Or actors, or those type of things. So I don't know if this is going to look good. So when you say, yeah, like religion is a cancer to humanity, I get it. But I think humans are generally the cancer within themselves, and they just latch onto religion as an excuse. Okay, why did that one go nicely and the other one didn't? Yeah, okay, I can make that work. I can see that working. Let me just get another. Anyway, that's my. So even though I would consider myself a believer, I don't believe in free will, boy. That's the bit that I was like struggling with the text, because I was like, I objectively do not believe in free will. So if I'm talking to religious people, I'm always saying, but isn't that the fundamental point of religion? Yeah. Yeah, that's the point though, right? Like, and that's another thing. When you realize the concept of the free will, or the lack of, that's when judgment kind of is hard. Because, well, technically they didn't choose that route, right? No one, let's be real. Like, unless you're a psychopath, you didn't choose to be horrible. You didn't choose to be a piece of shit. If anything, life chose you, bro. Like, it just is what it is. And so it's very hard to. Well, I am quite a judgmental person. That's just because I'm flawed. But I also understand that it's backwards to judge, because, like, I don't know what's in their head. I don't know their shoes. I don't know what they went through when they were young. I don't know how much abuse they suffered. You know, you don't know anything about anybody. But we love, like, I think it just makes us feel safer when we can encapsulate people in a box. And that's why autism is such a tricky one for a lot of people to understand, because people want us to be in a box, but we're not quite like, we don't adhere to a box. Not all autism or not all neurodivergence is the same. Like, you can't put me in a box. People want to say, oh, you seem conservative. I was like, yeah, I'm conservative by business and by pulling my life up by the bootstraps. But I'm liberal by nature of compassion, because I understand we can't do it all alone. I think life is a balance of the two. I don't think it should be, I'm liberal, you're conservative, therefore we butt heads. I think it should be more, I need you as much as you need me. And if anything, I think they're a balance of each other. Like, they're both ends of the spectrum. I mean, if you believe in God properly, you should believe in free will anyway, because of predetermination. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't believe. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing, right? That's the other part of it that I struggle when if I was to be having that conversation with anybody. It's like, how isn't it predetermined that God wins? So, yeah. It just, yeah, it's a contradiction, I guess, of some form. But that's why I think that free will is an ability. I don't think free will is something that everybody gets. I think, and that's, in a way, let's now take it upon the point of what Jesus' message might actually... Oh gosh, what's happened here? What Jesus' message might actually have been. That we are helping people attain free will by spreading the word. The word might not have been about actually spreading this book or doctrine, but actually, hey guys, if you take control of your life, you'll actually have control over it. If you put away that, like, you can have a drink, but don't get drunk, man, because now you're beyond your own help. Now you're falling into addiction. And when you're addicted, you no longer have control. So in a way, it's the lessons of religion that's more important than religion itself. And maybe that's what's gone, that's fallen by the wayside. I don't know, man. I've spent a lot of time thinking. That's why I don't absorb facts very well, because I think more than I actually, I guess, read. I don't know. So why did that one? Huh. Now you sound like Shin from Fate. People die if they are killed. You live twice. Shin from Fate. I don't quite get that though. People die if they are killed. Maybe there are a few takes I can take from this stream, because there's so much in my head that that's kind of the reason why I wanted to stream in the first place, is because I have so much that I want to let out to the world, because I feel like people are so fixated on their belief systems. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't truly believe that you truly are right? Unless it's just 2 + 2 = 4. Which is what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for the truth in life. I just care about the truth. And if religion is the truth, then so be it. Then, like, do religious people think that, like, well, I remember when I went to this wedding, and it was a Pentecostal type wedding, I guess. But I was in the car and I was talking to the guy about religion. I was like, well, what about the guys who are born Muslim? Like, they have as much conviction as you, and they've converted people from crime just as much as you. So why do they go to hell? Right? That doesn't make sense to me, because if they've turned their life, like Malcolm X, he turned himself away from crime. Why would he go to hell? As far as he's concerned, like, it helped him. Like, yeah. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Some reason it wants to go like peace, like that. Now it works. Sometimes it don't. What are we looking at? We're 12 o'clock. I might call it quite early and be fresher tomorrow. That hay fever is annoying me. I've got a video to release, which is my castle build, where I basically just toured it. But what I might do is some visual footage of like some flybys and stuff. I might just scrap the UI Nexus mod thing, because apparently it can be quite long. I don't know. I've never tried it really. I don't really get it. How much more we got? Maybe when I finish this bit here, I'll call it there. I'm almost done. I would like it a little bit more rounded. Like, it's a bit too triangle-y for me. I was kind of hoping it would have more of a clean arch. Maybe I needed a flat one as well first. Do you think that would have done it? I needed to go flat and then back out. So, like, I would have gone there. And then start making my way down. Nah, I mean, it kind of has a bit more of a roundedness to it when I do add that top point. Maybe I could just superimpose that now. What if I just added that? I think maybe if I did the shorter ones, I might be able to get away with it more. I'm wondering if I fucked it. Because if I do that extra little piece at the top, I can make it rounded. Or at least roundeder than these triangle looking shit. It's not bad. It's not that it's bad. It's just that one's longer than that one, for example. So that is a problem. It doesn't look as good as when I made it. Could I be bothered to do all that again? Could I? Because then let's say we went to there. Would we then just go down from there? Maybe I can kind of like cheese it. And just fill this space here. And no one would know that I fucked it. You know? Let's think about it. But for now, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let me just finish it off for today. And then... Why does that one seem so much longer? This one seems so much longer than this one. What are you telling me? I can't destroy this one now. I'm looking right at you, boy. No, that was the wrong one. Come on, bro. Come on, broski. Well. Yeah, I think I needed a flat one after that. If I wanted to go for the more rounded look. It's not too bad. I'm sure I can do something more to it to make it look a bit nicer. But I just know how my head is. And I know I'm going to be annoyed by it. Like, why didn't I think it? Let me just do a trial run on this side here. Where is my character so I'm not okay? Let's just do a trial run here. And see how that looks. So it would go... Because if I like it enough, then I will do it all again. I will be that annoying. No. No. I like just kind of, a lot of time designs are just symmetry, and you can just kind of make shit up. So like that there is more rounded. Because it's not so much about designs, it's about how to pull it off with what you've got. See, look at that. That is more rounded. You see? Oh! Just that adding that extra one up there, rounded it off. All of this, like, because it's triangle. So now I have to either accept that this is the design, or I redo it and have more of a triangle. Because then I could do... I might redo it. I might redo it. I won't do it tonight, but I might redo it. Sadly. No, no, no. It's not way bigger because the thing is... Look. Like, it is bigger because I've added another block. But the extra block rounds it out. So look at this one here. Alright. That one extra one just changes it, that slight bit. So it ends up being bigger because it's an extra one along, but that extra midpoint is what then gives it the rounded look. So look, now it's more rounded. Like it doesn't end in a point. So then if I... Again, this is just a try one to see if I would end up making it. Happen this way. I mean, you could do two along as well if I wanted to make it a little bit more. Oh, but then there's a problem here. Oh no, it's not a problem per se. So can you see what I mean? Like, I could probably add one more straight. This one will look more rounded because it's just there's one curve for each point. You see, because the curve round stops at that straight point and then drops down into a curve. So this one, problem with, because of the extra one, it then goes to another angle. So this here looks a bit off because it bends more. So maybe it won't work. Maybe as much as I'd want it to work, it won't. I don't know. But that rounding bit, adding that extra layer there, changes it. I can get on with this if I can think of another way another design focus. Like, if I don't know. If I do something like that, then maybe I will be satisfied. Maybe. That might tickle me if I do it like that. I do that all the way around. I don't know, man. If it starts tickling me. What do you mean? You're telling me just shit just starts tickling at random? I gotta watch out for that shit. You're the one saying if it tickles me. Like, if what tickles me? You're telling me. Alright. Right, you tell me. What do you prefer? I think after seeing it like this, I'm not as convinced now. This rounded one. Maybe it could have another straight one. I think another straight one will make it. Or these rounded ones. Let me add another square. Decide that. Woman. I see. Yeah. Okay. I see. Yes. You like the rounded ones. You like the rounded ones, yeah? You like the rounded ones. Wait, am I an idiot? What the fuck is wrong with me, man? Yeah, it won't work like that. I'd have to really line it up properly to make it make sense. Have you seen The Boys? No, I heard about a controversy though. I keep hearing about it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm glad I tried. They put it to bed. I think I'd prefer like the little ones to be more rounded. At this point, right, with like the boys stuff, let the woke kill themselves at this point. Like, you know, like with Destiny, I can't believe they chose Destiny over. They chose Marathon over Destiny. What idiots, man. To be fair, I don't really watch anything anymore. Just game now. Okay. I'll need to think of something. Whether it's even just yeah, just doing that maybe. Might make me feel better. Yeah, I think you said you have. Does it? No, it's not ChatGPT. It's like multiple models. It's Seed Dance, uh, VO, quite a few actually. I can't think of any more because I haven't done it for so long. Let me see if it's on here. I have to sign in. Okay, so I have Neo Banana 2, Pro, Seed Stream, ChatGPT, Kling, yeah, Flux, Imogen, Bunyan, Bunwan. Yeah, I got all of them, man. I got all of them. Costs a lot though when you want to do some long shit so like that. You know that movie that they've just created. They've created a 95-minute film. Why'd you ask? okay. It's grown on me now with the patterns on it actually. We throw him in the pit. My this is made by AI. Look, if you see when I do this, that's an AI rendition. So I feel like certain things it's useful for some of my, what do you call it? For some of the emotes and stuff, I find they're good for. I'm stopping mine now anyway, because the amount I pay for that, in fact, now you mentioned it, I'm going to cancel it now, because I've only got 6 days to use my credits up. And do you know how fucked up this is, right? If I still have credits by the end of the month, it goes. Like, they're so shit, bro. But I could use that money instead for a dedicated server, is what I'm saying. So I might do that. Crazy. They make it so hard to fucking cancel the shit though, you know? Right. I'm coming off anyway. I'm not going to be silly tonight. I'll finish some design off tomorrow. I'll think of something crazy to add. We've got 2 arenas done. I'm not even sure there's going to be a third. I don't know how I will fit a third in. I definitely can't go above. It's not going to allow me to build that high. Unless I spoil the arena with some pillars going up. Kind of add to that finale at the top. That's a potential start. That's a potential. If I make the pillars look stylized like they're on the ground here, like in this open space, I can add some pillars. I quite like the way this is designed, right? You've got a little bit of a verticality here to play with. You can jump, you can go and hide around here. You can fuck around with the archers. You know. It's a cool little arena when you think about it. And if I add some pillars going up, it might ruin it. So I need to be careful as to how I do that. Right, anyway. I'll be releasing that video on YouTube sometime soon. But yeah. Thanks for hanging out.